Pastors and singers gone wild. 10 shocking miracles and sins that will make you question everything. Welcome, you beautiful family. It's Asa Network TV, back again with a video that will make you question everything you thought you knew about, well, faith. We are talking resurrection scams and even killer angels. Buckle up, and if you're ready, hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more content that keeps you informed and entertained. Our journey begins in South Africa, where a pastor made international headlines for encouraging his congregation to eat grass. He claimed that consuming grass would bring them closer to God and heal their ailments. Shockingly, hundreds of people crawled into the church grounds and began chewing away, literally. Medical professionals warned of the dangers, but the pastor insisted it was an act of divine obedience. This led to outrage and disbelief worldwide. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Stick around because things are about to get a whole lot weirder. Alright folks, buckle up because this next story is going to make you say WTF out loud. Still in South Africa, Prophet Lazego Daniels introduced a controversial healing method, spraying his congregation with insecticide, claiming it was blessed and could cure diseases, cancer and HIV. Shocking images and videos showed his members willingly being sprayed a full canister of insecticide into their eyes, nose, and even the mouth. Believing in his promise of divine intervention, health officials condemned this as dangerous and irresponsible. But the Rabboni Center minister stood by his actions, calling it an act of faith. This level of delusion is just wow. What will you do in such a situation? And this next story will make your blood boil. In Nigeria, Pastor Defy Daniels, popular as a Lagos-based pastor, Bishop Defy Daniels, made his congregation believe that premarital sexual activities was the Lord's doing, citing biblical verses that suggest such acts signify true believers. Unfortunately, he deceived his followers and slept with many of them. Pastor Defy Daniels was found guilty on all accounts in 2020 by trial judge Rahman Oshodi and sentenced to life imprisonment for rape on a complainant and sexual assault against a worshipper. The founder of the Irene Christian Ministry was arrested, and the persecution was established mainly by a 19-year-old church member and a 23-year-old pastor assistant. Defy denied all accusations, of course, and stated that the women who testified against him had purposefully conspired to bring him down. He also denied tampering with evidence in form of deleting WhatsApp messages between him and one of the 4 women. He was sentenced to life imprisonment on the first account on January 26, 2023. This next story shook the African continent. A popular pastor staged what appeared to be a resurrection miracle. Picture this: a packed church, gospel music blaring, and a casket in the middle of the aisle. During a Sunday service, a man in a coffin came back to life as the pastor prayed. The crowd erupted in celebration, but investigative reporters later uncovered the truth. The man was alive all along, and the entire act was staged for attention. The fallout was swift, and many accusing the pastor of exploiting people's faith who are desperate for hope for his financial gains. And this next story would test the limits of your gag reflex, because what you're about to hear is both shocking and disturbing. Imagine being told to drink petrol to prove your faith. That's exactly what happened in a controversial South African church and another church, Salvation Healing Ministry in Nairobi, by Pastor Victor Kanyari. The pastor claimed he had turned the fuel into pineapple juice through prayer. Congregants willingly drank, despite obvious risks. Many were hospitalized afterwards, but the pastor continued preaching, claiming those affected didn't have enough faith. Outrage spread online, with critics calling for stricter regulations on religious practices. This story is a prime example of how dangerous blind faith can be. When people are willing to follow without question, the results can be catastrophic. When you start putting your trust in someone who is clearly off their rocker, bad things happen. It's a cautionary tale about the perils of misplaced trust and the importance of critical thinking. Let's continue with another pastor who took the faith to a whole new level of messed up. In Malawi, Shepherd Bushiri attempted to perform what he called a miracle of faith, walking on air, before a packed congregation. He declared his faith would defy gravity. However, as he stepped off the stage, he quickly learned that physics doesn't take breaks, and he fell flat. What about when he was called out by some of his members for staging some of his deliverance sessions, claimed to heal HIV, cancer, and the rest? Though some congregants still believed it was a sign of God's testing, the Prophet Bushiri, or even better, Major One's miracle events have gone viral as a reminder that miracles require more than blind faith. The power of persuasion, especially when it comes to the matter of faith, can be incredibly dangerous. Brace yourselves for this one. This story is going to leave you absolutely stunned. We're heading back to South Africa, where Prophet Light Moyenki of Grace Living Hope Ministries took exploitation to another level by giving drinks of any disease cure to his members. He convinced his congregation that these drinks guaranteed healing. Prophet Moyenki of the South African Church, in one of his services, took an amount of powder poison, mixed it into a bottle of cold water, shook it, and beckoned on any member who was ready to display an act of faith. Soon, many came out and took a drink for themselves. After all the cheers and prayers, 5 were confirmed dead and 13 rushed to the hospital after consuming the poison. Following the incident, authorities stepped in and they discovered the scam and arrested him. Shockingly, some faiths still defended his actions, claiming he was doing God's work. Super insane, right? Now, ever heard of being kicked into healing? That's what Angel Ubinhim, a Ghanaian-born pastor, Daniel Ubinhim, popularly known as Angel Ubinhim in Ghana, claimed he could do. Videos show him kicking and stepping on congregants, stating that the physical pain was necessary to remove spiritual ailments. The minister of the International God's Way Church, located in Ghana, had also declared himself to be an angel of God, hence the name, as he told his church severally that he could transform into different animals alongside his very violent deliverance sessions, which would show him trampling or treading on the sick in the process of healing them. He is also that pastor who evidently tries to fly back to heaven as the angel that he is, but unfortunately gets held back by his members. Setting that aside, critics were furious, calling it abuse disguised as religion. This story is a stark reminder that abuse can often be disguised as something else, especially within a religious setting. It is crucial to question and critically evaluate such practices, no matter how convincing they may seem. Always remember, just because something is done in the name of faith doesn't make it right. Stay vigilant and protect yourself and others from such harmful practices. Hold on to your butts, folks, because this next story is straight out of a horror movie. In another shocking moment, Pastor Penwell Munguni, founder of the End Times Discipline Ministries, convinced his congregation to eat live snakes and clothes, including shirts, bras, and underwears, claiming they had been transformed into chocolate through prayer and that Adam and Eve were undressed and were not ashamed. While many obeyed, others were horrified, calling it a clear example of manipulation. Animal rights activists and health officials strongly condemned the act, but the pastor defended it as a test of faith. You guys ready for the last round of What's in the Actual Hell? Because this next story is a doozy. Our final story through the world of shady pastors takes us back to Nigeria, where a Nigerian pastor of the Faith on the Rock Ministry International Church, Theophilus Olochi Obonyi, popularly known as Theo O. Obonyi or Apostle Professor Theo O. Obonyi, claimed he could multiply his congregants' money through prayer. Attendees handed over their hard-earned cash, expecting miracles, only to discover it was all a scam. The pastor vanished soon after swindling his followers and others the sum of 1.3 billion naira and leaving his followers betrayed and heartbroken. Nigeria's Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, aka EFCC, alleged that Obonyi had asked his members and other victims to pay the sum of $1,300 as fees to access a 20 billion grant from a US-based Ford Foundation, a typical fraudster move. However, it was later found out that the foundation itself never offered such a grant. Neither had it made any arrangements for relationship of business with Ebonyi or his church. This story highlights the importance of questioning blind faith. From eating grass to drinking petrol, these 10 stories reveal the darker side of faith, where manipulation and exploitation thrive. What do you think about these so-called miracles? Are they acts of faith or outright scams? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more content that keeps you informed and entertained. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching, guys. But before you go, here's one bonus story that left the entire nation in shock. On January 12, 2025, in Orozo, near Abuja, police arrested Abuja-based gospel singer Timileyin after he was caught carrying a poly bag containing the severed head of his girlfriend, Salome Enejo, a 24-year-old corps member serving in Abuja. Church members noticed Ajayi acting suspiciously near a river during their Sunday service. When they approached him, he tried to flee but was caught. Inside the black bag retrieved from the river was Salome's head. Police later found the rest of her dismembered body in Ajayi's apartment. According to the police, Ajayi has since been charged, but the community remains in shock. What could drive someone claiming to serve God to commit such a heinous crime? The question remains unanswered. These stories remind us that not everything done in the name of faith is truly divine. Stay vigilant, stay aware, and once more, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more shocking and true stories. Trending, sports, news, and more. This is ASA Network.